UNESCO Earth Network podcast. Our relationship with nature is threatening the environment we all live in and we all depend upon. We must reconcile with nature. UNESCO Earth Network brings together the voices of leading scientific experts from across the globe, committed to find tailor-made solutions to tackle local environmental challenges in UNESCO designated sites, such as World Heritage Sites, Biosphere Reserves, and global geoparks.
Welcome to the third episode of the Earth Network podcast. In today's episode, we're exploring the world of biosphere reserves. We're heading to Madagascar, where a new wave of aspiring biosphere reserves is being proposed to promote both environmental conservation and local community development. But what does it take to join this network of biosphere reserves? And why does it matter for nature, for people, and for the planet? To help us answer these questions, we're joined by the talented expert Djafarou Ali Tiomoko, Director of the Pendjari National Park at the National Centre for Wildlife Reserve Management. Djafarou, along with Justin Didolanvi, visited 3 sites in Madagascar that aspire to become biosphere reserves. He'll share his valuable insights into the significance of these sites, the mission's objectives, and the ongoing efforts as they begin a journey to join a world network of biosphere reserves. We'll also hear from Hélène Le Brun from the UNESCO Man and Biosphere Programme Secretariat. She will help us understand what biosphere reserves are, their importance, and the nomination process. Biosphere reserves hold a unique place in the world of conservation. Unlike traditional protected areas, which focus solely on conserving biodiversity, biosphere reserves are designed to integrate the protection of nature with sustainable development, promoting harmony between people and nature. Hélène explains that these sites act as grounds for sustainable development, combining nature conservation with the goal of improving human well-being, seeking to find practical ways to maintain biodiversity while allowing for the responsible use of natural resources.
Biosphere reserves are not just about protecting nature. They are much more than that. They are prime examples of a holistic approach to conservation. They play a vital role in preserving the health of our environment and, therefore, our own health. And each biosphere reserve is designated for its unique way of contributing to sustainable development. For a site to become a UNESCO Biosphere Reserve, it must demonstrate its commitment and potential to address both environmental and social challenges effectively. Each site holds a great power, the power of connecting people together and building a better place to live all together, humans and non-humans.
Djafarou's work with the Earth Network project has taken him to Madagascar, where he and Justin Didolanvi are providing support to the managers of aspiring biosphere reserves. Their mission is vital as they navigate the complex landscape of conservation and development. Let's hear more about this mission, including the key locations and the tasks involved.
Our mission was to support the managers of future biosphere reserves in Madagascar. In recent times, several initiatives have been underway, particularly within Madagascar national parks, other private actors, NGOs, and several projects aligned with the concept of biosphere reserves. The goal for these actors was to formalize the designation of a number of sites as biosphere reserves. We met with these actors to share our experience with the process, from preparing the application files to the designation process. What are the steps? When should the application file be sent to UNESCO? When can we expect a decision after the proposal is reviewed?
Djafarou's experiences highlight the intricate balance between community engagement and ecological conservation. But what exactly does it mean to designate a biosphere reserve? And what challenges do these candidate sites face? Let's dive into that.
The process of designating a biosphere reserve requires a collaborative effort among everyone, among local communities, local and national governments, and scientific institutions. And a successful nomination hinges on the involvement of all stakeholders, and that from the beginning of the process. This ensures that everyone understands their roles and contributions towards the Biosphere Reserve's goals. So, each Biosphere Reserve must have a clear plan, and this plan should align with the three essential functions of a UNESCO Biosphere Reserve. First, the conservation of biodiversity and cultural diversity. Second, an economic development that is socio-culturally and environmentally sustainable. And lastly, some logistic support underpinning development, for instance, through research, monitoring, education, and training. And this is essential to create a framework that is sustainable in the long term.
Understanding the structure and purpose of biosphere reserves is crucial, but there are challenges that need to be addressed in order to receive the designation. Djafarou outlines some key challenges that must be overcome.
In terms of challenges, when it comes to challenges, the first one is how to involve all stakeholders in this project. And that really is a challenge, because even from the very beginning, just putting the file together, it has to be done in a participatory way. So it's essential to involve everyone. It's not just the curators who took the initiative. You also have to engage the local communities living near these sites, so that they ultimately become real stakeholders in the project. And so that they're not just observers, but active participants in the process. Local government officials should also be engaged from the start. We saw how important it was to involve the local mayor in Kalanoro, as they can either support or block the project. Researchers and universities should also be involved, because research is key to fulfilling the logistical support function. This is a major challenge because the future of the Biosphere Reserve depends on having all these actors on board from the beginning.
One of the critical elements in this process is the involvement of local communities. Djafarou emphasizes their role in ecological conservation and the importance of raising awareness about the benefits of sustainability.
I believe it's well known that it's generally the communities that are best placed to destroy nature. There are no other actors capable of damaging nature in nearby areas. So, as a result, if we want to succeed in conservation, we absolutely have to base all actions on these communities. And basing the action means, yes, raising awareness. But I admit that raising awareness alone is not enough. People need to clearly perceive that there are substantial economic benefits, something that changes their lives and daily routines. Without that, it will just be talk. And honestly, we're not sure we can get people's support for conservation. So, we need to be able to demonstrate, to show, and prove that there is a link between conservation and noticeable economic benefits.
On a des retombées économiques perceptibles.
As we conclude this episode, we've gained valuable insights into the important work underway to establish biosphere reserves in Madagascar. Thank you for tuning in to this in-depth look at biosphere reserves and their role in sustainable development. For our next episode, we'll travel to the Balkans to continue exploring the fascinating world of biosphere reserves, with a special focus on the vital role of youth and how best practices can be shared, especially during the nomination process. See you then.
Thank you for listening to this podcast. This podcast is part of the UNESCO Earth Network project. This episode was produced by Ilse Campos, sound design and mixer by Emmanuel Rudowski. Special thanks to Catherine Lovet and the experts. If you want to learn more about it, visit the UNESCO Earth Network website and stay tuned for our next episode.